Nani hiyo anauliza ati diaspora mulidu what? Zinaitwa the exhausting diaspora phone calls. Mtu wa diaspora ati akikwambia vile atakutumia pesa, delusions of grandeur, lazima muongee kama 1 hour. Lazima muongee kama 1 hour anze akwambia I don't know what nini it's crazy. Can hack that life, man. Kuna creators wanaweza operate on that model. Mi naona ikiwa ngumu sana kudeal na watu wa diaspora. As usual, drop your names and where your location, mahali uko. Twende. Hii ndio ya mwisho ya dhizia bana. Sio mchezo, hii ndio ya mwisho. Tushaingia December. Sasa December nitakuwa nikifanya nini online? Bado hata mimi niko na mipango mikakati. Deda na Komeru, karibu sana. Ita Mugambi yako wapi? Unani wako Kataa? Steve Adogo Rongai. Kasarani Justus, Justo Udhero, Wamuz, asanti sana. Jone yako Limuru, karibu sana. Nani mwingine? Kirinyaga Kabudha, Kevo na kuona. Kevo na kuona. Mugambi umenisho uko Kasa. Landless Nick Arato, Indonesia. Kirinyaga naona. Levi naona uko Indonesia. Kitengela Haris Umoina ko wadogo. Mombasa Biliondari, karibu sana. Joyce Njeri Kanairo, Elisha ako Gatundu sio Ngatundu. Jemo ko Kitale. Onanga huyo governor wenyu unatembea akiwa mtu fake. Hasn't launched any project but he's always trending. I don't like fake guys, and I can tell from a distance now natembea is a fake bastard. Live from Dubai, Isaac Kibet, Zilao sema. Leo tunakafunga hapa. Leo we want to do the last show of the year. Ex-Kenodia, Thika Town, karibu. Melbourne, Brian Lucky, karibu. Ongata Rongai, Naomi Murage, karibu. Barabara zikoaje saa hii kukinyesha huko? Hii mlichagua Olelenku, the biggest clown, biggest idiot. Kienda kwa ballot wewe uone unachagua mzee mwenye hajawahi fanya kitu maisha yake. What normally goes through your head? Muturi yako Gatanga. We are talking about Gatanga and your former MP Peter Kenneth and how people don't like being strategic, being consistent, because mtu kama Peter Kenneth 2013 angeingia kama governor wa Murang'a aanze kujipanga, to take over, but that's too much. That's too much for this generation. Hii consistency hiyo na planning na strategy ya watakangi, wanataka kama sahi atanyamaza hivyo 2027 sasa ajitokeze with whatever movement aanze kujitafutia sasa, because people are allergic to strategic planning, investment. It's crazy. But there's been some good news this week. Guys have gone to court. Students wa Kitengela walienda court kuchallenge KCPE results, malpractices. Leo tumekuwa na ruling ya tulikuwa na zile rulings za social health where 3 acts were declared unconstitutional. Tumekuwa na hii ingine ya nini housing fund, and this is what to do. This is nilikuwa namwambia, this is what we should do. We should be having like 10 concurrent lawsuits in different courts across the country. This is how you grind the government to a halt, so that if you file 20 or 30 lawsuits or challenging or constitutional cases, even though the judges are corrupt nini nini, half zitapita through, half tutapata order zenye tunataka, lakini people, you don't want that. Unataka kulipia mama ya Jonki Morera kumjengea nyumba juu ya kuonyeshwa matako. That's your problem, man. I don't know who will help you. Hey Shivachi sema. So guys are going to court, challenging. I've seen there's one which has challenged the privatization of Lamu and Mombasa port. So it should be like that. We should be having court cases. There is nobody telling you at wait for 2027. No, we start now. You do what you need to do now. But consistency, investment, hakuna mtu anataka. Munataka tu dakika ya mwisho mutokeleze sasa mufanye whatever you want. Na masimu za watu wa diaspora. Watu wa diaspora mchoki kupigia mtu simu. Diaspora people, what's wrong with you, man? You guys need help, eh? Like for real. Haunisikii aje Ayeko? Sio wengine walikuwa wananisikia? Can you hear me? Testing 1 2 3. Ayeko, ama wewe ni gadget yako iko na shida? Ayeko, wewe wacha zako. Nick Arato anasema called it diaspora people. Diaspora people. Hey, Jesus. Hey. Lakini kuna mtu ameniambia, I'm on another WhatsApp group and we were talking about diaspora people and your problems. And wanasema kuna watu wenye walienda diaspora that the first time they were coming, they were going to Nairobi or coming to Nairobi was when they were going to the airport kwenda diaspora. So ushamba ile walitoka nayo Kenya bado wako nayo huko, haikuenda kuwasaidia. So Rahimtula, karibu. When will I be in Malindi? Yeesh, the last time I was in Malindi was 2020. And now the way it's raining, I don't know whether I'll come to Malindi, man. The way it's raining, we. Barabara hiyo tulimtetea paka barabara mkatengenezewa, Uliona Rahimtula naona uko Essex. Nice one. Malaba kuna time nilipitia kuna time nilipitia Malaba nikienda UG na bus. That's the only time nimewaipitia Malaba. So I don't know what's happening in Malaba, but niliona watu wakisema ranking it as one of the failed towns despite all the traffic that passes through there. Watu wanasema it's a dead town. What's happening, man? Moses Gabriel ako Nakuru, Nax Vegas. The data accord, Thika Landless, the data accord, sorry. So watu wengi wa diaspora, the problem is mulitoka your rural hometowns and whatever. The first time mulienda Nairobi ni either mkichukua visa na mukienda airport. Newton Simiu, privatization is not going to happen. We are going to challenge it, whether diaspora mutume pesa or not. We are going to challenge it. We have seen we are in this journey alone. Diaspora people are not with us. Your work is just sending money to Nyako so that they can feed your low vibrational energy. Sasa tunataka tumwache huko because as sisi tuko Kenya, we want, we know what is at stake. So we'd rather now take it upon ourselves and look for other funding models for sustenance, because you guys, George Maina, nilikuwa na nyuki the other day, kuwa na nyuki, kaingia hapo Kamoran, tukapiga sherehe. Done real, thanks for pulling up. So nobody is selling any parastatal. We are going to go to court to challenge all of that. We are going to look for ways and means of achieving that objective. Yeah, so ndio ilikuwa namwambia hii itakuwa ka live ka mwisho. Siwezi kuwa hapa nikimbabysit. I can't be here babysitting you with your questions hapa. Na pesa yote munarushia Njoki ili muonyeshwe then the storm, muonyeshwe dynasty, muonyeshwe dynasty. Mawama uko Turkey, Izmir. It's nice. You know, Turkey was Kenya 30 years ago. Now they are challenging the global order. Wako na airport, wako na airline yao imekuja ikashoot. DJ Adla, what up? Airline yao imekuja ikashoot. Nimepitia hiyo airport yao siku ingine hapo, Jesus is huge, na unaona ma development huko. See, hatutaki, nobody wants to put in the time, nobody wants to nobody wants to ile consistency hakuna mtu anataka. Kila mtu anataka everything on a silver platter, umepewa tu hapo free stuff, hivyo ndivyo mnataka. So mumeona now I want to revert to my old model, cause hata nikikuja hapa ni mbabysit hapa, naona you guys are lost. You guys are lost, completely lost. You're in another zone. You're in another zone. Sasa tujue now. I need to figure out an approach of how to do this. Find a way of connecting with. I think there's a more, there are more numbers, more vibrant, whatever in Twitter. So we connect it to Twitter Spaces. We connect it to my Facebook. I need to find a model. Yeah, but the YouTube crowd, number one, you're very few. You want like now, 200 maximum at a time. So I need to figure out, this was a nice trial and error, but I don't want to lose hope by entertaining you people, and this is not your thing. Yeah, perhaps when you're coming on the internet, you're looking for an escape route from whatever toxic environment you are in, be it the countries that you are in, or the work environment, or your families. So I think I need to find a platform which, yes, we'll be talking with Kenyans in diaspora, but I think I need locals who are more invested in good governance in Kenya. And I think the people in diaspora are not ready for that difficult conversation. Not blaming you or profiling you, but I think you're already dealing with enough psychological trauma being away from, or being in a foreign land, to be able to put some of these things in perspective. Kabuga sijajam, sijui nini unasema nimejam. By the way, I've been kwanza this there's been mekuwa nini. I have a life, man. I have a weekend. By the way, I respect kama mtu kama Kibe, hizo hours alikuwa na put, but he was in a foreign land, but me, I can't put in those number of hours. I have respect for the people who are doing it consistently. Yeah, so I need to find a way of converging, because Facebook, I have a lot of people. Twitter, I also have a lot of people. So I need to find a way of converging those audiences from one stream, from one stream, so that we can have more or an equal representation of Kenyans, in the country, and Kenyans who are invested in politics. And right now, I don't think that I think the Kenyans in diaspora invested in Kenya, but not the political process itself, the conversations that we're having. Because when someone calls me and like now the diaspora, the tiring diaspora conversations I've been having is of people who clearly have not watched enough of my videos to know that we've been making process. And so um, somebody when I talk to them, I feel more drained because you're not telling me motivational stuff. You're coming with a lot of your problems. I told you I spoke with someone the other day who started telling me, oh, they left Kenya because I don't know what. I'm thinking, man, bro, I don't even entertain such conversations with with people. I don't even listen to my pastors and bishops because I realize they are not exposed, they are not traveled, they are not learned, they don't read. They read the Bible, yes, and try to translate, but me, I need a reference to philosophy, to current affairs, to geopolitics. I need somebody who is connecting all of that if you need by undivided attention. And unfortunately, the current crop of religious leaders are 100% theological. Is all about theology and whatever they have studied in those theological schools, and I find they are devoid of any intellect and stuff like that. So yeah, so I need to figure out, because this is a long game. We are here for a long game. We are not here for just the initial boost. So we are here for a long game. So I need to figure out a model of converging, converging the whatever the audiences within my different platforms, so that I can also attract new audiences and serious people, not the diaspora people who've been calling me. Um, you can start the early adopters. Now you've done much. I think it's upon us to share the knowledge amongst our peers. Yes. I've been shooting content like this whole year, man. I had so much energy. The other day, I started feeling like I'm getting drained. I've been shooting like a video, like starting January, minimum 5 days a week. So I was just pushing content. So I respect the guys who have that energy, man. They are whatever they are. Those are guys I really respect. So yeah, kuna swali ingine kabla niende? Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Mhm. These Kitengela students are jazzing me. Ulisikia ile swali waliuliza? Goja. Ulisikia ile swali waliuliza? Hebu goja.
To ask the government, are you taxing our marks or
Standard 8 kids, eh? Are you taxing our marks or you guys, man? These kids are woke. These kids are woke, man. Na walienda kotini. Now, would you imagine? Would you have gone to court in your era as a standard 8 student? You wouldn't have, man. This we are now in the age. It is coming full circle. It is now maturing. This is it now. And these kids, if they're in standard 8 now, from one, probably some of them will be voting in 2027. So now, once they can relate bad governance to their lives from an early age, because these guys, how do they mess? And do you know how long it takes, the psychological toll, to prepare for exams, Kenyan exams? Your teachers are just telling you and channeling you that if you don't pass now, your life is over, you're going to fail. Everything around you. You do this, it is such a heavy toll only for you to wait that long, alafu sasa uambiwe ati your marks are munaona 75 uliona hizo marks za Kitengela. hmm? There was a school, was it Brystar? I think it was Brystar. 75, same marks for an entire class. These guys, man, these guys have no clue. Hmm? These guys have no clue. The Gen Z, the work of liberating them is us. It is us to ensure that we are channeling and we are driving the right content towards them. Because the ones who are ahead of us, the boomers and the whatever, they never took time to, all the messaging I used to hear from the people who are older than me was very toxic. And I used to sit down with those idiots of Kikuyu Council of Elders. I used to say, hey, nini, nini, we have to speak as one. But speaking as one is where we endorse them to continue exploiting us. Hmm? So it was never it was never a neutral, it was never genuine civic education. So it's us to do it without any vested interest. So we are telling them that yes, you are on the right path. You should challenge the authority. You should you should take it upon yourselves to go to court to pursue everything that you're doing. Nobody used to tell us that. We used to be brought down. Once you start launching a conversation of similar, if not, you're brought down. So, so it is easy for them to get lost. So, because they are they are all these celebrities who will be paid last minute to now drum up support. So it's us to keep those celebrities and the people who are going to whatever. We are the ones to keep them in check. Mm? Peter Jenga, Santi sana. Santi sana. Muliona Betty Chalo. Muliona Betty Chalo on a trend. I think she went somewhere and she was with this guy called Alan Chesang. Alan Chesang amekuwa Alan Chesang amekuwa nini anaitwaje? Amekuwa linked na wash. By the way, Zilao is the only guy who can make me now be coming here. But Zilao, I'll think of something. Don't worry, I'll think of something. But cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. There's this guy, Alan Chesang. So wakaenda for some tournament, and then Betty was asked to introduce herself, and akachoma, man, akaban. I don't know what you're saying. So she's been trending. I saw her guys, and guys are telling her, "Oh, Okari dodged the bullet. There is Okari." Nah, I think, the energy, after me being a victim of that kind of trolling and cyberbullying by, Kenyans on Twitter, just because I was in my element. I think we spend a lot of energy directing it to the wrong people. And I think we need to understand that our enemies are, we have common enemies who are politicians, who are the bureaucrats, who are the civil servants. And if we direct that energy, because like her now, she was trolled and she was next to a politician, that dude called Alan Chesang. Now, nobody spoke about him in any light of, as regards to his wash activities, gold scamming activities, or the fact that he was doing a football tournament, and these football tournaments are not a viable model of growing sports. It's too CSR. There is no long-term investment. There is no opportunity. It's just guys coming. It's just pub football. Guys just coming to sweat it out. So I don't respect that, and nobody was talking about that. Everyone went on Betty's comments, and it's so easy to trigger Kenyans. Um, it's so easy to trigger Kenyans. I've seen, and so people are losing their, if we focused on our primary enemies, our mutual enemies, and we've been trolling them. We've been trolling them, a good one, eh? City Cam is saying KOT behavior is a good example of dysfunctionality. Yes. You know, like we've been talking about ASAL, arid and semi-arid areas, and these guys, they thought that this El Nino was going to be that time they are going to rope us in and then have us donate money. Kenyans, Kenyans for Kenya, kama vile tulifanya 2011, we raised money, we raised like 4 billion. Because I told you Kenyans, because of constantly consuming negative content and low vibrational energy, you're very tuned to interventions that require or are approaching with sympathy, with a lot of soundtracks and whatnot. And so these guys raised billions for Kenyans for Kenya, for Northeastern, and they were still receiving CDF. So now Kenya, the ASAL leaders, if you watch my last video, I was engaging with one called Bill Okero, and he whatever, he was trying to challenge me, and I'm like, you're the one who did this report, you're the one who said that you guys have been given 247 billion to share amongst 3 counties, and you've not done anything. Those guys don't do garbage, they don't do drainage, they don't do anything. They didn't even invest in a dam to at least trap all this water that is flowing to the ocean. So how can we help these guys? So if we understand that those are your enemies, then we can spend less energy on trolling Bettys and the likes, and because these guys haven't stolen your taxpayers' money. And then don't forget that like 50% of this troll is guys who just want to bomoa. They want to be given nini. They want to be given nyash. White Webuye Karibu from Colorado. Karibu sana mtu wa diaspora. Huyo hajapiga simu bado. Huyo hajapiga. White Webuye has not done those long draining phone calls, sterile phone calls with no benefit. So anyway, half of these guys, just have a crush on this chick. That's why they are trolling her, if you ask me. If you want, mtu unabahatishanga unatuma tu DM. There was Bernard Mongare ati leo naongea na upole. You see, you guys are crazy. I had somebody from diaspora yesterday telling me that I'm shouting, I'm sijui nini, I should use a teleprompter. Now wewe unataka you guys amwezi satisfaika. That's why I don't want to do these lives, because I want to be shooting one in the morning, naeka nini, una shoot naeka, because now here everyone is up and down. You want this are what's this. So anyway, nilikuwa nakwambia that these guys they were like there was this time Pauline Joroge went to Watamu. Was it Watamu? And then she was arrested. But before she was arrested, she had posted, she was looking nice. Ulikuwa unaona hiyo nyashi ilikuwa inakaa juicy. I'm sure that the cop who arrested her, hata yeye aliona hivyo, akasema hey, this chick lazima ni meet, create ki scenario that nini badala sasa alienda wakamshika, went to court na nini, na labda ungemudm hapo akuambie pull up, niko room number fulani. Huyu kitu ni bahati nasibu, my friend. Sasa munaendanga hivyo, kama leo nimeona Betty ametroliwa mudm mtu una mudm unaangukia unaangukia hivyo, unaambiwa wewe this is there was a time nimechase kamutu, nimekachase for long bana, nimekachase madm huku ni mablue tick tu. Siku moja tu nikampigia hivyo, ilikuwa kaka Friday hivyo, nikampigia nilikuwa tu nataka kumshtua, because Friday mimi siko na form nini. Acha nikasema it was around like 11, nikamshtua, nikampigia, nikamuuliza hey, is vipi, kwa wapi? Mimi nasikia mtu ananiambia guy manze, nani sijui ule mubabazi wa mine, sijui nimeenda huko sikumua hii vitu, sasa ameniacha na huku katikati ya barabara, please come and please come and get me, please, me I'm in the middle. Alikuwa ameachwa, amedampiwa mahali na huko kwa marodi. Mimi ni nani cha kuvaa nguo kakaka kwenda kumchukua, napata mtu analia machozi yameachwa. Unasikianga venye munaletananga juu na mse unaachwa katikati ya barabara. Mi nikaenda nikamchukua, naona mtu ako nini. Sasa sasa unaona niliangukia tu hivyo kwa sababu ya makosa ya mtu mwingine. Sasa hata wewe badala ya kutroll mtu chapa DM, ujui vile utapata mtu wamekosana na mbabazo wake wamekosana, uone unaitwa uone unaambiwa uko wapi, come through. Sasa wacheni ku troll Betty yako na nini. Betty hajaiba pesa, hajaiba CDF, hajaiba nini. Yeye alikuwa tu kule akapewa madrinks pale, akashika mic akaropokwa. And mimi nilikuwa naambia watu kwa WhatsApp, by the way it was a big conversation on a WhatsApp group. And I'm telling them, why are you giving her grief? And Moses Kuria talks crap every time. Moses Kuria kishika mic, he cannot compose a decent sentence. He cannot say, and he still gets a free pass. You guys allow it. You guys have come to normalize it. Politicians wengine wakishika mic hivi mtu anaongea tu nonsense. Sasa huyu tumeongea kwa WhatsApp group, naambia watu, bro, these are not the enemies. The enemies are our politicians, our government officials, our elites. Our elites are the ones who are influencing laws which are creating all these imbalances. These imbalances are the ones which are causing you to travel to diaspora because there are no jobs in the country. But you don't want to talk about that. You don't want to have those conversations. You don't want to. It's too difficult. It's too painful to come to terms, to come to a realization that perhaps I am the problem. Perhaps ni mimi. Perhaps ni mimi. Si kuongea ile siku tulikuwa tunapigwa, si kuongea time ya lockdown na curfew. Time ya lockdown na curfew huku tumeambia watu waongee. Me, I joined another group with the most useless of guys, the celebrities of Kenya. We had a WhatsApp group. By the way, they are the most useless people to join to join in a cause, because all of them were, and by then we didn't have the clout, so we were hoping they would bring in their clout and try and do something better with their life. But these guys wako pale too, they are in this life just swaying. Wakiitwa na huyu politician wanaenda hivyo nini. So me, you'll never see me with celebs, and that's why I'm a different kind of YouTuber or content creator, because everyone has been expecting me to, just because I became famous and I blew up, then I will start now creating networks with these guys, then I start shooting content with, no. Me, I want to do this. I want to do my 10 minutes, I am out, and hoping that you will it will have some impact, even though not much. But even in the next election 2027, we should not even target because it's impossible, it's improbable to have 100%. But if we target 30% of decent people to be elected in various positions, then we are good. It's progress. It's better than zero. So that's what I wanted to do. So I wasn't getting to be, these fame is by the way, I still want to live my normal life, but I never wanted to use my now position now ati sasa nianze kufanya skits na hawa, I start creating a rapport, no, I didn't want that. This one of mine was civic education, and I told you, whether with your money or not, we will still do this. I was still doing it even before the idea of working with making money has ever come up. I was still doing it. So yeah. So nimemwambia wachenani na innocent bystanders, leave them. You have dumber politicians who you have elected. Umeenda, you queued under the scorching Sahara sun, and you elected the biggest idiots north of Limpopo, south of the Sahara. So, and then munaenda huyo hajakula pesa ya nini. Not just her. Every day when I see a lynch mob on Kenyans on Twitter, KOT, I ask myself, why are these guys going in this direction? I ask myself, why are these guys crucifying this person? And our politicians wanaangalia tu, they are laughing, wanaona tu tukipigana. Wanacheka tu wanaona angalia ile mjinga they are laughing because they have sown the seed of us fighting amongst ourselves and not them. Then, which is what KOT has become. It's become a lynch mob where people don't know who they are fighting. Instead of waking up immediately, like now, me, I'm conscious. I'm waking up. It is Uhuru. It is Ruto. It is who. I'm not. I'm not phased by people when they come to tell me, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Uhuru. Uhuru is not the one in power." No, 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 no. Me, I know where the problem started. Even Kibaki, even him, he was an idiot. He was a thug. I saw Francis Mudaura being called at it to give a Kinaruto a lecture. I don't know what in the civil service. Those are the guys who are doing the craziest things. They have no clue. So if people now, we focus on our common enemy, you will find that we have more that unites us than divides us. You will find that, when I started, meeting some people, and then there are these people I used to see on TV, and then even them, they are doing their own stuff. Even them, they are doing their own stuff out there. And so we started talking, and I'm like, I've seen you had a career on TV, on radio, but we have so much in common. So there was an iron curtain that was dividing us, deliberately put by the structures of society to ensure that I don't meet. It's a female. And the first time we spoke with her, we spoke like for 3 hours nonstop, cutting each other, like completing each other's sentences, talking about everything. It was connecting, and we're wondering, so how comes we never met or knew each other earlier? Because you've been around the block for the last 10 years. But there's all of these iron curtains, there's all of these distractions which are put in place deliberately to ensure you are not having a conversation. You are not having a conversation amongst yourselves. So it was. That's why if we woke up with being intentional, fighting our common enemies, then you'll realize that there is more that unites than divides us. Yeah, so ukiona kasichana kanaingiliwa, wachana na wewe, enda kwa DM, tuma DM, unaangukia my friend. Unaambiwa uko up, where are you? Where are you? Ushaiambiwa where are you? Kuja saa hii, come now. Unavaa nguo ni kama mwenda wazimu hivyo, ili usipate simu ingine kuambiwa ati sasa hapana, usikuje. Sasa kaka, unavaa nguo ni kama wale wazee wa Avengers, ile unaweka hivi, inajifunga hivi, hizo zile za Marvel. So is Joshua Maka anasema ati haezi understand 27-minute video. You see, these are the crazy guys. If you cannot understand, you watch a movie, there's so much content which is post 10 minutes. So how you're telling me you don't understand a 27-minute video? I don't understand, but whatever, man, that's your shit. By the way, me, Sahi, I'm working with the limited numbers, because every time I go to my comments, I see like 10% of the people are saying they don't like whatever I'm shooting at that particular point, but then 90% like it. So I'm like, yo, bro, I'm there for that majority, the ones who take the time. I'm not there to now every other time I'm going up and down because I'm trying to placate or to pacify this side or this side. No, I go with my energy. If today I feel like doing a live, I will do. Today I feel like shooting a 10-minute, I'll do. Today I feel like doing 2 hours. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. And at least there's some element of monetization on YouTube. I appreciate that it's a platform that is trying, to support creators. On TikTok, I was very famous, extremely famous. I walk anywhere, everyone knows me, but there's no consideration. At least on YouTube, I can with the little that they are giving, I can pay a bill, I can pay my internet or something. If and from a 30-minute video, I have more earnings than from a 10-minute video. So what are you telling me, man? Here I'm. Uh, I don't. You. Everyone is telling me to talk about Pinewood Beach Resort, and I'm like, why should I talk about them? Why should I talk about them? I've gone to Mombasa and worked with hotels, people who've engaged me. So I'm like, if you had a beach resort, you obviously had engaged some influencers. Why do you want me? And they had influencers. Like there was another hotel which had issues, and I could see them. They had engaged the top influencers, the ones with the biggest, with the best nyash in Kenya. They used to go and take those killer selfies there and killer photos and whatever. And when things go haywire, now they want us, who they've never even given a free room to to talk about them. No, choose your influencers wisely. Hmm? You When things are good, you want to engage a certain class of influencers because you think your brand is up there. Now I can only deal with nani, sijui yule nani. So you do that. But when things go haywire, now you want to engage us who talk about governance and politics all the time. That's a thing we. But me, the people I've worked with, the people who've hosted me, I would, anytime they want, I'm more than happy. I'll even do over and beyond. So uh, again, we cannot incentivize the society to take politics seriously if every time they are running into problems, we are more than willing to help them, and for free. We will not incentivize you guys to take your politics seriously if every time you don't get a passport, you email me, and then I use my Twitter, and then afterwards, once you get money, you're just going to Joki Moriras to go jack yourself off on her diabs, eh? To watch her diabs twerking there. No, we will not incentivize, uh, because it's almost like we are encouraging you, because I get DMs all the time from people who do not even, nikiangalia timeline yao, they don't even have this element of even taking uh, an interest in the politics and of the day. I don't know whether you've seen another kafoto which is circulating ati lori ati mtu lori zake za maziwa zimekwama, anasema mi nafanyanga kazi ya kulima, mimi mambo ya siasa sipendi. Now we are telling you siasa mbaya, maisha mbaya. What was happening in Pinewood is a confluence of a lot of things. Is a confluence, is a cocktail of a lot of things. So uh, so people, it's up to now the people, if you're in business, if you're in who, it's up to you now to it's up to you now to choose your influencers wisely, to choose the people who you're engaging with wisely. But you can't be assume, not to spite anyone, you can't be with influencer X all the time, and then now that influencer does not want to ruin her brand by discussing politics, and then now you want me out of the blues to discuss that. No, I saw it trending. I'm like, I need more information. I reached out to some mutual friends, or people who have an idea about them in Mombasa, and nobody gave me the accurate picture, because obviously this guy is ambushing people last minute. So this clearly looks like a long-standing case relating to debt. I've been talking about debt. I've been talking about Standard Chartered. If you look at my videos on YouTube, I've been talking about how Standard Chartered have been inflating debts, have been working, have been manipulating the interest rates without the customer's prior knowledge. They work on whatever. Uh, they work on fictitious charges, stuff like that. I've been talking about that. So I would have expected somebody who is going through to hit me up and now give me your side of the story, because even the person who was scooping me on that Standard Chartered expose was very transparent with the information. Like, for me, I don't run rumors and innuendo. So now you would have, so when people are telling me, oh, talk about Pinewood, I'm like, okay, so what's happening here? I need more details, and they were not forthcoming. That's it. And so, and we already have a lot on our plate right now, because this government, they are not sleeping. You can see just every day, I'm unable to leave my Twitter account because it's too much crap, man. It's too much crap what they are working with. These guys were ready to just drag us. And then now we have all these useless journalists. And I was asking the main, because I'm also in a WhatsApp group with mainstream journalists. And I'm asking them, how stupid are you as mainstream journalists? Ruto came out and said that there is not going to be an El Nino. First, he said there is going to be one, and then another one, there is not. And then you guys blew up his story instead of giving him a wide berth. You blew up his story. And then, can you imagine if you had written facts, if you had stuck with the science? Can you imagine if you had gone to meteorological departments? Sorry, man. Oh, man. I don't know why I'm sneezing. So, can you imagine if you had gone to the meteorological department and uh, stuck with the facts? Stuck with the facts, we would have had early warning signals. We would have prepared. We would have the contractors would have been compelled to build drainages. We would have saved lives. But you guys ran with the propaganda of Ruto. And so, even to the last minute, even when the rain started, nobody was convinced that it was El Nino. They were told that it's going to pass, which was false. So I was asking these mainstream media journalists, are you stupid? Are you thick? When you're working for a national paper, aren't you supposed to be having some common sense that Ruto has said this, yes, but you go and follow up from meteorological. Then meteorological were very consistent. We are having El Nino. So we've lost a lot of time. People have died, 75, 80 people, probably 100, probably more, because I don't believe government numbers. So, and then now Rigathi Gachagua comes there today and starts saying they have created 150,000 jobs, just because they had the Federation of Kenya Employers saying that the 70,000 jobs were lost within the last financial year, ever since this demonic regime of Ruto took power. And FKE are the guys who create jobs. They're the guys who borrow loans. They're the guys who invest. This Rigiji and his useless corrupt clergy, they have never even invested anything. Rigiji is a billionaire from supplying tenders. He doesn't know how to create any job. So here these guys are saying, and even today, if you look at today's newspaper, today's Nation, there is an EPZ factory that has shut down. It has shut down because of what? Because of nonsensical regulatory procedures, and 7,580 jobs today have been lost this week from 2 EPZ factories which have shut down in Mombasa. In 1 week, 7,580 jobs. And without any honor or shame, he comes and says, oh, that we have created 150 jobs. Where? Where are all the people lining up to collect passports? Where are they? Everyone flying out to go to different countries. You see the problem? You see, because our useless journalists are so pathetic. Is Kenyans.co.ke, they will always be quick to run with they don't want to do any research, and we lose in the long run. We lose. This is pathetic what is happening in Kenya. We have to stay online to keep on challenging everything they are throwing at us, because every minute, and they have more than willing enablers and Twitterati and whatever, and social media operatives to just push their nonsense. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. So anyway, and then when I get phone calls from diaspora, they are sterile. They are people you want to tell me what to do. Me, I'm in this country. I can see it unfolding real life. You are 10,000 miles away. You think you can advise me how to manage this stuff? And these guys are adapting every day. They are coming with something new. Can you imagine? They are so desperate for spin and obfuscation and everything. They are so desperate for that they can even talk about things related to nature, which is not in their control. At least roads are in their control and other things, but nature, you want to come and tell people that nature, there is no El Nino. How stupid can somebody be? So now this guy called Taib Ali Taib, Quickmat had to respond because Taib Ali Taib, the guy who used to be the mayor of Mombasa, you now understand why Mombasa is a messed up country with no drainage if Taib Ali Taib was the mayor. He comes there, he takes a photo. Quick Matter running a promotion on one branch. One branch they are running a promotion. Just one branch. He takes it, he twists it, and then he says, "This regime is working. They have fulfilled their promise of bringing down the cost of living because of taking one photo taken at one branch, which is a promotion where they had something. I don't know, God knows what." And Malik Muhammad, my M-Pesa number is always on my profile. Malik Mohammed. My M-Pesa number is always on my profile. You can find it. It's not hard to find my M-Pesa number on my YouTube. So they come there, they use that. He uses his platform until Quickmat are forced to come and say, "Yo, bro, you guys, you're being unethical." Because you're not supposed to be using food, cost of living for your political gerrymandering. This is a matter of life and death. There are people who are dying because of hunger, and then you are taking a photo. I found that very in bad taste by Taib Ali Taib, and that's somebody who had been appointed as a special prosecutor to charge Kamau Thuge and Henry Rotich for all the corruption scandals that they did. He didn't do anything. He didn't gain any ground because he's a clown. Because Taib Ali Taib, you're a clown. If you have somewhere if you could record these and tell Taib Ali Taib, you're a pathetic human. No wonder we're wondering why Mombasa has no drainage. So everyone is talking about floods, but Mombasa is flooding. You understand? It's flooding because they don't have drainage. They are just next to the ocean. Why are you flooding? Because you guys never fix the drainage. You are just politicking. And so our common enemy are these idiots, these politicians, these politicos, these other ones who are pseudo-intellectuals who are on Twitter pretending that they are our public voices. They are usurping our opinions, and then they are going to cash them in on the political demagogues of the day. So Taib Ali Taib, when he tweets that, he's hoping to gain access and proximity to the powers that be so that he can go and negotiate for a job. These retirees have no shame. These retirees have no shame. Yeah. So anyway, we are having to deal with a lot. Every day there is something that comes up, and even when we tackle it, even when we challenge them, it's only a drop in the ocean because most of their crap goes through. I've been trying to tell you people to join me because I cannot run this shit alone. I cannot do it alone. But you guys are even more lost. You're even more confused. Even the phone calls I get from you guys from diaspora, you're the most lost people. Multiplex Media, my phone number my M-Pesa number is on my profile. If you go to my profile. So anyway, you're lost. And I'm telling you, these guys are not sleeping. They have committees. They have Akina Itumbi working somewhere with barrage of people. All they're just thinking of, how do we spin this? Everything about them is about spin. They spin, then work backwards. Spin, let's think, how do we lie to people, then work backwards? It's not about results. Ruto has traveled 43 countries. Can you imagine if he had launched 43 projects? He was coming to open them now after 1 year. How far we would be? Can you imagine? But here is all about everything, smoke and mirrors. Every day there's a press conference. These guys are hosting press conferences more than they are working. They are hosting church services, barazas, to talk shops. We don't want to hear them. They don't understand that the more they are talking, the more they are angering us, the more we are disgusted by their crap, the more we don't want anything to do with them. They don't understand that. And I told them the blowback will be double or triple because they are insulting people's collective intelligence. And so they think the more they appear on TV, the more we will misconstrue their appearances as delivery. These guys haven't worked a bit. They just wake up and think of what are we going to do today? Let's send a press release. Now we are going to, people will think we are working. Let's send this. Let's host a press conference. Let's go to church service for this. We're tired of these bastards, man. We're tired, completely tired of these guys, man. They are disgusting lot. And you think that they are going to learn, you'd think that they are going to get better, you'd think that they are going to, do something, but no. Every day they are just continuing with the same blueprint. Because I told you these are Moi orphans, these are Moi surrogates. They've been mentored by Moi. This is all Moi used to do. Moi used to be Harambe across the country, driving here. Twende Harambe hapa, twende Harambe hapa. Shule, sijui nini, politicking, everything. These guys don't know anything else. But why would they be motivated or incentivized to work for Kenyans? Well, they become billionaires from not owning any factory, not being inventors, not being innovators, not being agriculturalists, exporters, and they become billionaires. And you praise them. You tell them they have a lot of money. Ruto has a fleet of helicopters, doesn't own a factory. His hotel, I don't know who even goes to the hotel. I'm sure now government, all of them, they've been convinced to take their seminars there. But prior to that, nobody was frequenting that hotel. So these guys have made a lot of money from doing nothing. And so you assume that there is an incentive for them to work for you. No, these guys don't care about you. Ian Goge, man. Hey, Ian Goge wamekufa na mimi. These are the guys who make me want to come online. Ian Goge, the guy from Denmark. These are the guys who make me want to come online. So anyway, there is no incentive for them to work for you. They don't care about you. They are already making money. This guy has never opened a factory. He's never opened an industry. He's never exported anything. He's never created a job. So it's draining. Well, like now to just be on Twitter to just try and challenge these guys, it's draining. Not because we are not winning the war, it's because there's so many of us who are lost. There's this quote that said, "I freed 1,000 slaves. I could have freed 1,000 more if only they knew they are slaves." So we have, a plethora of slaves. They don't know they are slaves, but they're just pandering to this failed political system. We have people just retweeting crap by somebody like Mutahingunyi. Tahingunyi is just an ethnic bigot. Have you seen his latest tweet? He's just talking about Sijui Mulembe Nation and I don't know, nonsense and God knows what. Is these boomers, we need to go. And now we've discussed and we've been posting videos, if you've seen on my Instagram, and we are saying the primary thing you have to make sure you're doing is to ensure your parents and your grandparents don't vote in 2027. We don't need their votes. We don't need their votes. These are guys, we know them. Ikifika hivyo, they start being fine-tuned and finessed by their corrupt clergy, by their media, by Kameme and Inoro. They start being told what, and then uanze narrative imeanza kubadilika. Waseme, afadhali mwizi kuliko murogi, afadhali mwizi kuliko murogi. We know them. Ken Denono, santi sana, ananiambia usife moyo gaido, ndio ananiambia santi sana. So the people, we to liberate people, to awaken people's senses is crazy, man. It's crazy. You just get drained, man. And I've told you the draining is not from because the politicians are doing what we expect them to do, which is lie, which is steal, but amongst us, lost people, lost cause, hmm? Lost people, mwezi saidika. Hmm? Yeah, so somebody asked me to talk about self-hate. I think it was Mogambi. Yeah, you're told to hate yourselves. Um, and I told you, for your journey in liberation, you start listening to this song called "Distant Relatives" by Damian Marley and Nas. You listen to them. There's Kwanzaa, there's a song which goes, Jah told you in his own words, I'll see you through. And then he talks about something about you underestimate, because they say the first philosophers, the first whatever were Africans, the first, whatever. So it says you underestimate the strength of your own wisdom. It's almost like you've traded it in for that pill of penicillin. And I don't know, this is an album which he did in 2010. And we were talking about Wainga, how we had our own traditional healers. Of course, they were rebranded to be called witch doctors. And so, because these guys were given penicillin, and it's written, it's documented, you'll see so many articles. And I'm wondering, why did I hear these from Nas and Damian Marley and not from my religious infrastructure? You see, they have meddled with everything that we are accessing, so that we are, because I've told you there was knowledge, this knowledge was there, but somehow it is suppressed. And we are having the most learned or the most educated not even saying those things. Even our professors don't talk about that context. Um, yeah. So and whoever is telling you there that we have to think as Kenyans, not as our tribes, because we've realized from devolution that corruption is universal. Everyone used to be saying, "Oh, Mount Kenya," and yet the governors are not telling you that you have 4 trillion. Governors have been given 4 trillion shillings. 4 trillion shillings. Not a single county can show you a legacy project, anything worth writing home about. Every county should be having a referral hospital. We shouldn't be having ambulances crisscrossing, heading to Kenyatta and whatnot. Kinda late. What's my view on Ababu Namwamba? He's an idiot, man. He's an idiot. Ababu is from the same school of thought as that age group who have told you they are too lazy. They don't want to invest in time. They don't want to invest in consistency for results. Of course, when Eliud Kipchoge wins, a win which has been accrued not from the investment of the country's resources, but from his sheer personal effort, they are more than happy to go to the airport. Like he was there taking Harambee Stars. This Harambee Stars is pathetic. They won. They won. They won. They won these. They beat Seychelles. Harambee Stars is ranked at 111. Seychelles is 198. And they beat them, and then corrupt journalists here at saying it's the dawn of the new era just because you've beaten a lowly ranked team. Yeah, this guy is clueless. I was defending him, then I realized he's an idiot. Cheragei was right. Samson Cheragei was right that Ababu Namwamba is a spectacular waste of time. But not just him. It's this entire regime. You saw them now sponsoring. Cabinet secretaries are sponsoring an article on the Taifa Leo, and then they say, "Oh, they are not being given work. I don't know who they are being micromanaged from State House." I'm like, resign, resign. What the hell are you? You are not Nigel Black. Thanks, bro. Thanks, bro. So these you resign. What you do is don't you resign. Stop complaining that Ruto and Farouk Kibet are doing the work and coming to influence tenders, so you are not able to eat the way you wanted. You resign. There's a chick there who was a PS, who's called Esther Ngero. She resigned sometime in March or April when she realized that these Yamune wankers are the ones who are going to be micromanaging her, reducing her to a flower girl who her work will just be signing off on tenders on their behalf. And when the brown stuff hits the fan, you're the one who is going to go to EACC. So, like now today, Kenya National Trading Corporation CEO Pamela Mutua has been in EACC writing statements. But who did the thuggery? Eh? Is Akina Moses Kuria and God knows whoever up there. Hmm? So it's we are being treated to a lot of garbage every day. So if you are a cabinet secretary, if you are a principal secretary, and you feel that somebody else is doing your work, is interfering and meddling with your course of your line of duties, step aside. We don't have time for your nonsense. Step aside, resign. Nobody has time for your crap. Resign. If you're there, you're an ASAL governor, and you feel that I don't know what, first tell us where you have taken the money. Where have you taken 2 trillion shillings? You've just been building flats in Kileleshwa, in Pangani, in Isli, flats, malls, real estate development projects. So Waigoro the other day talking about what El Nino, blah. And then she needs to tell us why people are associating her with Lifestyle Heights in Tatu City. These guys will not steal our money and then come and insult our intelligence. Apana, you pick a struggle. You won't steal money and then you come to lecture us. Apana. I was happy with what happened in Cabranet. If you guys saw Chumba Murkomen being heckled, they tried to spin, they tried to twist the story. Oh, it wasn't who they meant. No. Guys are tired of you guys. You're in delusions. You're in Delulu land. And you were told by somebody that the Lulu is not the Solulu. You're in delusion land. People are tired of your crap. Murkomen, the first thing he did is buy a Hublot watch, buy Gucci shoes. They think that this information is somehow doesn't seep to the ground. And they think people are happy just because you're flossing with designer wear. Ruto is telling us to tighten our belts, and then somebody just found that the belt that Ruto is wearing costs 450,000. I was talking about the PS of Foreign Affairs. That he was living in Edenville. Suddenly he has 130 million to buy a house cash in Kitisuru. They're telling us to tighten our belts as they loosen theirs. Eish, apana, metubeba ufala for too long. And now because they have the Muzungus on their side, they have the US ambassador, they have the EU, they have the WHO, they think now, now they can, apana, metuchosha nyinyi. They want money. Nobody asks them to go to World Bank. Go and collect it from the money that Uhuru stole. There's a lot of money that has been stashed outside by the people who stole money. You collect it from there. Don't come and tell us that, no, we are selling parastatals to recover money that was stolen because of debt. Which debt? What have you done with that debt? Have you seen the roads that were made by Murade contractors? The way El Nino is exposing them. Have you seen the roads, the way they are collapsing? So you were telling us the debt which did what? So if they think that that's the narrative they're going to sell, apana, we are tired of these guys, man. Metuchosha. Mnasikia mmechoka na wao kama vile mimi nimechoka na wao. Where you guys would be unleashing chums. We do serious stuff. We go to court. We do what? We now move from talking to action. Lakini nyinyi, you just want to see dynasty. Unataka tu kuona dynasty. Dynasty pale kwa nini? Kwa TikTok. Mulipiga kelele paka akaunti ya Joki Murira ikakuwa reinstated. The strength of Madudha. The strength of Madudha. Dudes, media, everyone, it was an uproar. Because they're like, where are we going to see such nyash again? Where are we going to see such diab again? Me, I've never seen that. I didn't know that TikTok, I knew TikTok is kind of trash, but I like it because it's platforming new creators every other day. And I believe that anyone who has a voice the first port of call should be, TikTok. But I knew it was a trash platform nonetheless. But I didn't know it was so glaring that just because of Nyash, and the uproar from the dudes that the account was reinstated. It's crazy, man. We are living in crazy times, man. Huh? I hope Elon Musk doesn't become an idiot like the guys of TikTok, man. I hope he maintains. Today I saw the people of Google. I saw the people of Google meeting who was it, the PS of internal security. And when these guys start meeting government, it's always a red flag. So I was more than happy when Ruto went with the US ambassador to the US and somehow they didn't meet Elon Musk. My my assumption was that they wanted to make some requests about censorship or something. So yeah. Na leo mulikuwa wengi 234. Mulikuwa mmecome through, mmesikia ni last last of the year. Don't worry, when I come back like Jordan, it ain't to play games with you, it's to aim at you, probably maim you. If I owe you a blown, you slimly cocksucker, take one for your team. And I need you to remember one thing. I came, I saw, I conquered. Poleni, if I hiyo ni nini it's a song, it's called Encore, it's a song, ni wimbo. So anyway, wacheni sasa nilale. Ni maswali zenyu nimejaribu kuzijibu to the best of my ability. Ken Denono, what's my poison of choice? I love there's a gin I love, it's called Whitley Neal, and the flavor is called Queens. That's my favorite. And then I mix with ice water and slices of lime and grapefruit. Now nikako nikikunywa hivi kana kwanga kama niwezere wezere. Yes, I drink. What I do, I don't drink every day. I drink once a week. But I like, because I'm drinking once a week, then I take something good like that. A weekly meal. It's a nice one. Dark Angels, what up? So 72 minutes hapa, karibu wind up. Ati niende studio wewe, and then those are just bars, man. I touch on Rwanda. I hate that country, man. I think it's overrated for nothing. I think it's too much PR. Like if you see they are on, they are on the shirt sponsorship of PSG, they are in Arsenal, but their football league at home is non-existent. Those are red flags. So I think it's a small country making a lot of noise for nothing. So yeah. Asanteni sana, kwaherini. It's been real. Wenye mulikuwa mnaitisha namba ya Mpesa, it's in my profile. Just go to my profile. You'll see it in the description. Moturi, Spice FM, they're doing well. Occasionally they host crap guests. Occasionally, like these boomers, but I like them. I like Spice FM. I like the idea, I like the idea. Peter NK, ati sijaitisha pesa za kwenda kotini. Mtu anatumanga pesa, unauliza baadaye. But what you guys want is me to open a GoFundMe and then what, and then hizo mama can't. It's too much, man. It's too much work. It's too much work. Too much work. So anyway, yeah. So those are my views about Rwanda. I think it's small country, too much noise. There's a chick who was there. What's her name? I think on Twitter she's called Msupa M. And her tweet, I think, got like 2 million views because she said that when she went there, there's gloominess, there's no life. She could feel that. And then everyone was on the edge there, like the road rage. These are the small indicators of a functional economy. Um, so she could feel that there is an air of, people are not happy. Mm? Mm? So yeah. And then this time I went to Dubs. Then I went to this club. There's a club for Africans in Dera. And all the hookers there were Rwandese, Ugandan chicks, until you saw their countries were banned. Like they can't get visas to Dubai like the way we do. So for them to go, I think the person inviting them has to submit a bank guarantee of like $10,000 there, just to ensure that they are not going to escape there. So I remember when I went there, all the hookers there were just those machiles, and they are the ones who now hustle you. And then I was like, okay, these are red flag, because I never saw any Kenyans in that club doing that crap. I'm like, okay, this is creepy. And I think Kenyans, their work ethic is very, respected there, out there. So they, and I told you, when women lack opportunities, that is the first sign of a failed economy. Once the women are the ones who are going to look for jobs out there and whatnot, and that's where Kenya we are heading. That's where Kenya we are heading. Eh? And nobody seems to be concerned. Me, I can tell the amount of SMSs I get. Just somebody telling me, hook me up. And it's mostly the ladies. And the opportunities for ladies are dwindling. Because if you finish the SMEs, if you finish what, like now the cost of electricity has gone high, which was one of the first SME to be targeted, is the salon industry. But like now, I used to know so many salons which have shut down, and those salons, they were employing no less than 20 people per salon. So if those jobs are disappearing, then it means you're condemning more women to unconventional ways of making a living, or immigration. And why is this happening? Just because of a few. I'm telling you, Kenya, we are being shafted by no more than 50 people. Hmm? 50 guys have beaten you to submission. 50. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Higher. 77 minutes. Thank you very much. Thank you for anyone who came through. Let's keep it real. If I get some time in December, uh, yeah. Albert, I like TZ. Napenda Oyster Bay. I love Oyster. Whatever. Yeah. So let's keep in touch. If I get some time, I'll be popping in. We can do a live. It'll be so random. Uh, yeah, can pop in, see what's up, see what you guys are cooking. Malik Mohammed. Okay, so here is my M-Pesa number: 0726 857 365. I repeat, if you have your phone on, 0726 857 365. It's still in the description, it's still anywhere, but you know, cheers, man. Cheers, guys. It's been real.